Denny Segura for MMA Junkie. I'm here with Britton Hart, who will be fighting at BKFC 19 against Jenny Savage. First of all, let's address what happened at the press conference. Obviously, you guys probably had the biggest exchange out of everybody at the presser. You didn't take liking into her not wanting to answer why she stormed into the ring in your last fight. Can you kind of walk us back and explain that whole situation and why that bothered you so much?
Yeah, I think that I deserve an explanation. I think if anyone wants to say you're going to come in on someone's victory speech on the main event, we've had no prior beef before. And if she wanted to say that, which she kind of gave a dumbass, long-winded excuse after it, that, oh, you were mean to me after my fight. But why I feel like everyone can kind of see that she made that up on the fly, really reaching in her back pocket to see why she was in the wrong for doing it instead of just admitting it. You know, I would have preferred an answer like that, like, hey, I wanted my moment, you're the best, you know, and I was going to come in there and make sure you know I'm the best. I would have at least appreciated her honest answer instead of making something up. So I've kind of been wondering that with a lot of the stuff that she's been doing. Again, for me, it's personal because it's not even storming the ring. It's the fact she's been on social media a lot, spreading rumors and lies and kind of poking the bear, you'll say. But to me, they're lies. So it's not even something that is riling up a good fight when you're spreading lies and slandering and getting other people involved, you know. And that really sucks, you know. It's like a form of cyberbullying. And we can't solve it unless it's in the ring legally. So thank God for BKFC that now I don't have to face legal charges outside the ring in, you know, my famous quote, Walmart parking lot.
Yeah. And she was very quiet at the beginning. It kind of felt like she kind of wanted to keep away from the trash talk and sort of the heat. But eventually, you know, she gave in and you guys were kind of going back and forth. Did you expect to bring that out of her? Because it kind of felt like she was trying to keep quiet.
Well, I think that proves my point entirely. That's exactly who she is. When she said her stuff, I wanted to, you know, but I am a grown-up and I can control myself. And, you know, when she says her little stuff, I'm just like, all right, whatever. I let her say her comments. I never interrupted her. I never rebutted. I just let her say her stuff. And then when it was my turn to be on the microphone, you guys saw instantly in the press conference, when I was speaking, she cut me off. And she cut me off in a rude, crazy manner. And she got it back because, again, nothing I do, you know, sometimes I'm a hard person to handle from the outside looking in if you don't know me, because I am very passionate. I speak with a lot of enthusiasm. You know, and that's just me. That's who I am. People might not like it and at home, you know, think it's annoying or cocky or overconfident, but that's just who I am as a person. I put passion and 100% in everything I do. And so it's hard to stay calm and collected like my team is telling me when this girl is just interrupting me, you know, and not giving me the same respect that I'm giving her even when I shouldn't, you know?
Yeah. And obviously, you know, a lot of heat for this fight, probably the most heated fight of the card. I kind of get the feeling that you like this. Like, obviously nobody wants to be slandered or anything like that, but you kind of enjoy and it brings something out of you for the fight. You
know, I think that I'm really mad, you know, so I wish that she wouldn't have done that. So let me say that. Like, I really wish she didn't have to cause me to be this happy about kicking her ass. But, you know, at the end of the day, I was a street fighter before I was ever a boxer. And that's why I was so good at boxing, is because I had that dog in me. You know, I had to deal with bullies when I first moved to the United States. I had to deal with, you know, an abusive spouse and abusive relationship. I've had that in me. And it's not anything that is a great thing to talk about and to go back on. But at the end of the day, man, I've done some damage to people who really try to do damage to me, you know, in protecting and defending myself. And I always thought, like, going into the ring, if I could channel that I would be untouchable and indestructible. I'd be knocking out people left and right because I've knocked out people in the streets with one punch. But for me, they say, harness that energy, Britton, bring it in the ring. And you know what? I get in the ring, and I think of all those bad, abusive people in my past, and then I look over on the other side, the person isn't them, you know? Yeah. That's not the person who hit me. That's not the person who, you know, tried to take my child away. That's not the person who called me a bitch. And, you know, they're here for a sport. And it's really hard for me to turn that on. So when you see it on, it's on. It's like something that's really deep inside me. And so, yeah, I am kind of excited because I think I get a lot of criticism that I lack power, and it's like, damn, if only you guys knew, I have a lot of power. It's just when I get in the ring, I'm more of a chess match player. I like to pick and choose my shots. I like to set it up. I love the art of boxing. I love the theater of boxing. I love the calculations of boxing. That's really where my heart and passion is. It's just the inner dog in me comes out when it's personal.
Yeah, of course. And now switching gears to another topic here, something that also didn't sit too well with you at the last press conference was that Paige VanZant is headlining this card, and of course you beat her. Can you talk a little bit about that and how that makes you feel, the fact that she is headlining, but you do have a win over her?
Yeah, I mean, again, it's not anything that I'm jealous of Paige VanZant or anything like that. At the end of the day, we're fighters. You don't see guys on main event, oh man, they got bigger muscles, so we're going to make them the main event. No, they're there because they earned it. They're good fights. I get it. Paige brings in a crowd. Rachael brings in a crowd. But, I'm really sold on the belief that Bare Knuckle is a platform for real fighters and not just people that they want to build up and break. Like, these are people that really have the grit that it takes to be Bare Knuckle. And, I mean, Paige lost all 5 rounds to me. I don't care what anyone says, And yeah, I didn't knock her out, but let's rewind. She didn't knock me out either. So as many people want to say, oh, well, you're bragging about being Paige VanZant, you didn't even knock her out. Well, she didn't knock me out either, and that girl had 20 pounds on me. So, whatever. But for me, I think, again, this is me saying, sometimes people misinterpret my words when I say I'm a real person. Not that she's not a real person, but that's what people are going to identify. No one's going to identify with Paige. You know what Paige is? She's the boss's nephew that just walked into the company, and they said, oh, well, you're the nephew, so we're going to promote you to top dog spot. When I've been here for 5 years working my ass off. And I'm sure everyone has gone through, that feeling before. So again, I'm out there to motivate and relate to those people. Because the people who don't relate to what I'm feeling right now and saying that I'm jealous or saying that whatever, they're probably not. They're probably the nephew as well that's gotten everything handed to them and they didn't have to work for it either. Yeah. So for me, I'm just being me and standing up for myself. And I think it has something to do with me being a female. Because if a male was to speak his mind on something or be pissed off, people would be like, yeah, you go get him. But I'm pissed off and it's like, oh, you're just a jealous, salty female. And it's like, whoa, 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 whoa. No, I'm not. I'm a fighter, and I want that respect as a fighter, And he said, she said, oh, if it went one more round, I mean, it's awesome. How many fights have we seen? We've seen someone get cut in the first round, and then they come back and freaking dominate 4 rounds later and win, a belt. So I just seen that happen. So if you didn't do it in the 5 rounds, you didn't do it. Period. Case closed. Right. It's not a woulda, shoulda, coulda. I won. Yeah,
and speaking of that, she believes she won the 5th round, the last 2, I believe, and then she believes if the fight would have gone on, she would have gone on to beat you. Obviously, you disagree, but it almost feels like there's a little bit of unsettled business here. Although you have a win over her, do you feel like at some point you'll cross paths with her again?
I mean, I feel like if she wants to say that if it would have went one more round, I mean, I usually come from boxing, and honestly, rematches are warranted when it was a split decision or close, And to me, even if I wanted to give her the last round, which I don't, but even if I did, winning 1 round to 4, and to me, she dug her own grave. She dug, in the documentary and everything, she said that she would beat me on her worst day. So, I mean, whatever. I beat her once, I'll beat her again. I'm confident in that. I think that the best Paige VanZant showed up for her pro debut. I don't care if she says, oh, I was new. She's kind of changing her story. Because before then, it was, Britain hasn't faced the top competition that I have. Britain hasn't faced the elite level athletes that I had. And you're an easy win for me, Britain. And I would beat you on my worst day, Britain. So now, I don't know. I'm a little confused. But, I mean, I feel confident that I beat Paige VanZant at her best. Yeah. And I'm only going to get better.
Yeah. Any prediction for that fight, Ostovich VanZant?
I think I have seen I think Paige is, I want to commend her and give her respect to go into the boxing gym. I think that was huge. I think it's big difference. I do think that boxing gyms have the edge over MMA gyms. So I think that she looks motivated. I think that that loss really hurt her and hopefully humbled her a little bit and like, you know, I shouldn't have said that, you know, I would beat you on my worst day. And that she looks like she's improved as far as like, she looks in really good shape. You know, her training videos look really good. So she could be really hungry. I feel like she's been, you know, a little bit, I don't know, it's just something you can read. So I'm actually really highly interested in the fight.
Yeah.
I like Rachael, and I think, you know, obviously I kind of just want Rachael to win as her character, someone I can relate to, because I don't relate to Paige whatsoever. I can relate to Rachael, you know, she had an abusive relationship. So, you know, without even, we even had that conversation, but I can kind of look up to her for that. She, you know, has been on the streets. You know, Paige looks like she's lived like that lavish silver spoon lifestyle, where Rachael may have grown up a little rough. So I kind of like that. She's a mom. I just like her story a little better. So personally, want Rachael to win, but do I think Paige is more motivated? I kind of do.
Yeah. And another thing that made headlines, congratulations, you got married today, just 2 days away from your fight with Joey Beltran, obviously a veteran of the game, and someone that's been around for a really long time, very well liked and very well respected. Why now? Because it seems, you know, obviously, you know, congratulations, I'm not trying to ruin your moment, but some might say like, oh, it's a little bit of a distraction, right? Like, you know, you're just a couple of days away from your fight. Can you explain to everybody kind of what happened there?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people that are going to say things, and we realize that. But, you know, the people that matter don't mind, and they understand. They see it. They can see it. If you're in the same room as me and Joey, you're already like, we see what's going on. Me and Joey have been together, and since we've been together, I mean, we're not even apart for maybe 2 hours, and it's because we're either going to the bathroom or in the sauna or something like that. So if he can take me and not, you know, if he can be around me that long and not be annoyed, we're definitely a match in heaven. But our personalities are just perfect, man. We really have kind of the same heart and motivation and the grit. And why now? It's kind of like, when you know, you know. And I think life is, anything can happen. And as being fighters, look, we can talk and I can say I'm going to smash Jenny Savage all day long, which I'm going to. But you heard it in the press conference from the TikTokers, and I really like that they came up and they're like, whew, we have a much-founded respect for these real athletes behind us that train, because this shit is hard. And when you go in that ring, I mean, anything can happen.
Yeah.
We're talking about broken orbital bones, you know, concussions, brain bleeds. People die in boxing. And for me and Joey, we both put ourselves in a lot of danger in the fact that we fight hard. And so it's part of that. Like, anything can happen. And if tomorrow's my last day, I want to know that it was married to, hands down, the man of my dreams, who's absolutely changed my life. And that was a thing. And then, you know, it's the also Knucklemania. It was my birthday, so I was like, I'm not gonna lose on my birthday, and I'm damn sure not gonna lose on my wedding. You know, next to my wedding, so that's cool. And I think the date, you know, it just is happening. How it's happened is just meant to be. Like, we loved 7/21/21. Sounds great. We'll remember it forever.
It's a good date, yeah.
Coming in here, I guess too, if it's a distraction, you know, I've told you before, life is hard, man, and when I'm distracted, it's because life is hard. When I'm happy and life is good, I'm focused and I'm in there and I'm ready to go. And that's how I feel. I don't have any like nerves. I'm not shaking. I'm not like, even with the press conference, I believe, you know, someone told me after Jenny threw something at me while my back was turned like a little bitch, I could turn around and be like, rah, 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 and it get heated. But at the end of the day, I'm like, she's going to pay for that.
Yeah.
She's going to pay for that on the 23rd. But let me go see my husband, because that's what matters right now. And so it's like, that's a calming thing. But best believe that I'm going to remember you did that. And I'm not wasting my adrenaline and the thoughts of that repercussion come the 23rd.
Real quick, how much planning went into that, or was it just you know, a thing of the moment? Hey, let's get married.
Oh, yeah.
Or did you have a timer? Because it seems you had a timer on him. Like, okay, he's been you know, around me long enough, and he hasn't got annoyed. So
yeah,
we're good.
Always do. When we moved in together, we went shopping together, we picked out furniture for our apartment together, and we're like, we're basically married. Yeah, so we always joke about it. We're basically married, and he's like, I really want to marry you, and I was just, I love life. And then after he won the fight, he proposed to me in a most beautiful, beautiful way, and he did. He said, I'm going to change your life, and I wasn't lying, and this is a symbol of showing you I'm going to change your life, and it's a promise, and I don't need to wait for it. And it was really awesome. So then we were engaged, and then it was kind of went from that to, fuck it, we should just get eloped, and I'm married tomorrow. Let's go to courthouse. And then I was like, okay, you know, this is great. And then we're like, do we tell anybody? And we're like, we should fight and then win. And then when I win, I say, I want to thank my husband. And everybody will be like, oh. So we put thought into it that way. And then Joey was like, you know what? I think that we should do it before, you know, going in, whatever. Just because, you know, like with stitches, and I know he's 100% confident with me, but like going to the hospital, you know, they're like, oh, you can't come in unless you're married. You can't let boyfriends come in. And it just kind of solidifies how much of a team we really are. So I like that. It gives me motivation. Like, hey, behind me isn't just my boyfriend, or, you know, it's my husband that's like really got my back. Like, not just says he has my back, it really has my back. So I think that's a really powerful thing going into this fight, not a distraction.
Definitely. Well, congrats again. You guys make a great couple, and best of luck on Friday. Looking forward to your fight.
Awesome. Thank you.